Is 8 o'clock on the dot. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk, where we get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, and hopefully get your day started off on the right note. Not a ton to talk about this morning. There is a little bit of rain we'll track on our radar for you, but there's also storms this afternoon. We'll look ahead to that and preview that weekend forecast. Plenty to track, even on a quieter morning. But with that, I say good morning to you. Let's take a live look outside, see what's doing. This is a shot from our Tower Cam network. There's Port Canaveral there off in the distance. It is a lovely start, a little hazy as one would expect. Temperatures across Central Florida, mild indeed. But take a look at our first warning live Doppler radar. Through the metro, we are quiet. There is a little light shower activity kind of crossing through Marion County here as our live sweep moves on through. Let me loop this. Nothing too ominous, just a little bit of shower activity there. That's going to be one of those things that we'll continue to watch. But look off to the west. There's actually some pockets of heavier rainfall coming in around Cedar Key and Crystal River. Not seeing a ton of lightning in this, but it's there, and it's going to be the kind of showers that may try to wander on in. So we're just going to keep our eyes on it. Not a huge concern. Look at the temperatures across town right now. It's 82 degrees in Orlando. It's 80 degrees in Leesburg, 77 in the Villages, 81 degrees in Daytona Beach, and 80 degrees in Melbourne. So it's plenty warm. It's beautiful. It's sunny. It's going to be a nice morning for us, but into the afternoon, take a look at the 12-hour forecast. Those temperatures are going to be climbing. 92 degrees by 1 o'clock, 94 degrees by 3 o'clock this afternoon, a 40 to 50% coverage of showers and thunder showers. This mug is everything. Good morning to you, Karen. Good morning. Terry said we had a nice storm this morning early. Yeah, there were a couple of storms around. This afternoon, we're definitely going to have plenty of activity. Janice, you know it. Good gravy. Do you know it? Yeah, Taylor, that's right. That's the perfect way to put it. And this mug is everything too. All of that and a bag of potato chips? Can it be that? All right, so let's take a look at high temperatures around town today, get an idea, and then we can take a look at the computer model data and get into the storm timing, okay? Hi. 94 degrees, our high temperature today in Orlando, 93 in Leesburg, 93 degrees in the Villages. It's about 91 today in Palm Coast. So well above the average once again. 92 is the average high temperature. Feels like temperatures are going to be getting once again into the triple digits. And I mention that just because when we look to the advisories for today, our northern areas do qualify as having heat advisories. Marion County, Flagler County, Putnam, Alachua, St. John's, and so on. So, for what it's worth, just plan accordingly. When we look at today's feels like temperatures, let's start at the beach. Daytona Beach feels like temperature gets to triple digits by lunchtime today. It's going to be a hot one. We head over to Leesburg, triple digits by about 2 o'clock this afternoon. We go to Orlando, triple digits by lunchtime. We go to Melbourne, and it's lunchtime. 107 is how that feels. And, based on that, one could argue that maybe Brevard County should be under the heat advisory, but either way, it's hot, and it's once again hot around town. Ocala, 108. There's a reason that you are under that heat advisory, because your feels like temperatures just go so much higher. Palm Coast, same kind of idea for you. And then Sanford, kind of the overall idea. Once again, you're getting to 107. Now, look over the next couple of days here, okay? Because here's where those heat advisories may factor back in. Look around Sunday, Monday. For Orlando, heat advisories are on the increase. So we may be talking about the issue where, it's hot, but we just missed the mark by a little bit. And then by like Sunday, Monday, we'll get back into heat advisory territory. Heat advisory, by the way, 105 degree feels like temperature. for 2 hours or more in kind of a widespread area. So maybe it's not quite widespread enough, but definitely extreme caution is the theme here these next couple of days. It's been the last couple of days, so this should not be a major surprise. So if you're making plans to head out like to the theme parks, for example, heading out to Hollywood Studios today, feels like 100 plus, 94 with those afternoon storms. If you're heading over to SeaWorld, same kind of idea. Now, if you're wanting to go over to a theme park that includes water, you're probably going to be looking a little bit better. Today, just like yesterday, just like the day before, we're going to call it a good day to get into the pool, not a great day. And the only reason for the difference is because by this afternoon, we do get into a situation where we have to watch for those thunderstorms. So as long as you're prepared for the storms, you're good to go. Just watch and you'll be good to go. That's all. Having birthday breakfast with my kiddo Murray. That sounds great. Good morning to you, Diane. Good morning indeed. We got a small shower in O'Galley last night. I thought for sure we were going to get a downpour. I feel like the rest of Brevard County got those big thunderstorms. So if you just got a small shower, you were one of the fewer areas that got it, right? Yeah, exactly, Kenneth. You know. Yeah. All right. So we've got the scattered storms in the forecast today, but where and when? Let's start off with kind of the storm zone. Where do the storms want to favor? They want to go again today to our East Coast zones. So keep that in mind. All right. As far as the timing of the rains go, here we are. Okay. We start off nice and relatively quiet this morning, though you do notice 10:30, we've got some of that rain on our western areas, kind of approaching Marion County, for example. Through lunchtime, though, we start to really spread to a few showers, storms getting going by 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. The storms are working over toward the I-95 corridor, Flagler, Volusia, Brevard County. There's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, still stormy out east of town. And then kind of little by little things will be clearing. So it's not a terrible evening forecast by any stretch of the imagination. It is going to be an active forecast for a period of time this afternoon. So if you're heading out to the attractions, just keep that in mind. All right? All right, we good? We good so far? Questions, comments, concerns about anything? Yeah, we good? We've had plenty of heat these last couple of days, so this should not come as a huge surprise for us, right? While we're talking, by the way, I'll pop up the 7-day forecast. We still have to look at the tropics, by the way. But while we're sitting here getting ready for the tropics, let me just pop up while we're chatting the 7-day forecast today. 50 to 60% coverage of storms. Kind of just depends on where you are. 50% through the metro, 60% coverage of storms across our eastern areas. And then notice Saturday, Sunday, storm chances are around with us. Temperatures are going to start to build a little bit again on Sunday, Monday, and then we just kind of level off a little bit and kind of get into a status quo of sorts looking ahead to next week. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of the forecast. Storms are around, nothing too chaotic. Trent, good morning. Oh, Trent. Oh, it just occurred to me, Trent. I remember. I read the name and I was like, oh, been your biggest fan since TV news class in high school. Thank you, buddy. When I did the weather at Lake Howell, good gravy. Good to see you here, buddy. Long time no chat. Donna, good morning from Ocala. Sounds like you're having your own storm. Oh, yeah. Look, parenting, I'm just grateful for my wife to be able to take care of them while I do coffee talk. I did have to pay the price, though. I did have to brew the coffee. Right? I did have to brew the coffee. Small price to pay. Can you please have the weather drop all the rain in Longwood? I would really appreciate it. As long as I don't have that control. But, again, looking at Futurecast for today, it does look like, there's going to be that opportunity. And if it were to happen, Futurecast is telling me, like, right there, like 2 o'clock, that's when we should be talking about some stormy weather in Longwood. So, yeah. Oh, Yukon. Are the kids having fun? Absolutely. Diane says the little voices in the background make me smile. That's the nice thing. It's chaos, but it's the kind of chaos that that everybody loves and dreams about. So, yeah. What's tomorrow morning looking like? Kiddo and I fly to Nashville around 10 a.m. Oh, you'll be fine, at least locally, Nikki. Now up north, that could be a different thing. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see here. Brew the coffee. That must be hard. Oh, it's not as hard as what Jeannie has to do. I will vouch for that.
Breakfast, yes or no? No. You have to eat.
Yeah.
Pick a cereal.
Thank you, Jeannie. Appreciate it. Jennifer says you will miss this so much. It's family. Well, that's why I don't. That's why I don't care. That's why I'm doing coffee talk. Y'all are hearing it. This is the real deal. And if you don't like I remember I had somebody a couple of years ago say, "Can you quiet the kids down?" And I'm like, "Can you quiet you down? I'm a parent. I'm not working today. We're doing our thing." You know what I mean? Taylor says, us regulars love and appreciate the sound of craziness. It's true. Most of us are going through it or have already gone through it and understand it. So I'm grateful. Yeah, they're being kids. Exactly. So I appreciate it. And listen, the kids are having fun. Like Eric's playing with a Pez dispenser. Life is good, right? Right? Yeah. Life is good. So anyway, one day they'll be stuck in their room on their phone as a teenager and emerge when they need money or food. See, that's the part I don't look forward to. Jeannie and I talk about that all the time. Yeah, we do. I don't look forward to that chapter, which will come. It will come. All right. Any other questions about our local forecast, people? Pez is awesome. Oh, it's an empty Pez dispenser. That's the best part. There's no actual Pez in it. Just don't tell him that's used for something else. Like he just thinks it's the toy. He doesn't realize it's supposed to dispense. Shh, don't tell him. Don't tell him. Oh man, oh man. Oh, thank you, Janice. When it's quiet, you have to go see. Oh, exactly right. Yeah. So, any questions about our local forecast before we move on to the tropics and check and see what's doing? Yeah. Storms around, heat around, no big surprises there. All right. So good. So far, so good. So far, so good. All right, to the tropics we go, my friends. Happy to report that still through now, the next 7 days, still for the next couple of days. Where is this graphic? I'm just sitting here trying to talk and I can't find the dang thing. Tropics remaining nice and quiet. Nothing expected to organize over the next 7 days. Now, we do know that the long-range patterns mid to late July should start to favor some, at least, storminess, whether or not it's tropical or not, some storminess. Now, that said, let's just take a look, and I haven't looked at this yet, but let's just take a look at the southeastern United States. Some clouds and moisture kind of starting to coagulate there off the coast of the Carolinas. There is a part of the weather pattern, the Carolina part of the weather pattern, that's favored. Now, do we see anything developing tropical? No. So do we think that it will be tropical this recycle? No. But this is that part of the pattern that favors the Carolinas, and there you go, seeing those showers and storms kind of starting to bubble up. Speaking of which, that's a dated satellite shot. Hold on. We're having some problems with one of our computers transferring over. Let me switch over here. Give me a second. Now we're at Florida. Give me a second. Yeah, so I have to figure that out because that is dated. When did this last update? Friday. Okay, so this product is updated. Florida is updating. Surface bearing. Hold on a second. Let me just take a look at this because the Florida view is updating, but the southeast view is still from Wednesday, and the national view is still from Wednesday. So I need to figure out what the deal is there. This is coming off another computer because it auto-generates the surface maps. But at any rate, we'll take a look at the model data here. Hit that. Hit that. All right. Take a look at the model data. Just see what's doing here. And we'll go to the Carolina area, if you will. We'll go to the full Atlantic basin. And there's low pressure kind of around the Carolinas. So this is lining up with what we had anticipated. This is lining up there. As that moves out, just looking. There are some pockets of lowering pressure out over the Atlantic. Nothing chaotic now right there. That's July the 13th. And there's definitely something that may be needing to be watched. Nothing of a threat, of course, but that's July. That's the evening of Wednesday into Thursday. Something out there in the Central Atlantic, not a threat to us. And then maybe, according to the GFS, a couple of waves coming off the coast of Africa that don't look to be doing too much. And then going through. Look at that right there. That's the 21st of July. Something in a sea of high pressure. There's like a little area of low pressure. Kind of interesting. Now, that's the recent run. Let's go back and see. All right, something there. The run before. Nothing there 2 runs before. So, interesting, something to watch. That's the American model. Let's switch over and let's look at the control ensemble run here. Of the European, something in the open Atlantic. Let's see. A couple of waves coming off the coast of Africa. Nothing of note. That's fine. Some areas of opportunity here or there, but nothing of note. Works for me. Look, you're not going to hear me complain about quiet tropics. Quiet tropics means that we can track it, but we don't have any concerns. So if you're new to this and you know that we do our long range forecasting, you may ask yourself, but I thought you said that there was probably going to be something in this time frame. There's going to be recycles of weather patterns. Doesn't mean that anything develops tropically. So we'll have to watch and see how that ends up cycling through. But for now, the tropics remaining nice and quiet. I'm not going to argue with that at all, at all. And I hope you don't either. So we'll watch it, see how it plays out, if there's any actual closed lows or not. But in the meantime, we'll just watch the heat, the humidity, and the afternoon storms. Yukon says Alex broke the computer before he left. No, he didn't. He did not. No. There's a big blob by Texas. Nothing big there. Yeah, nothing big there. Pieces of energy, pieces of moisture. Yeah. Linda, I need a little bit of their energy today. Yeah, you and me both. Ay. Yeah. Frank says fish storm. Maybe something out there. The pattern this year absolutely supported fish storms. So there were a lot of recurving lows, including that January 16th low that is recycling shortly. So yeah. Stephanie on YouTube, do you know if it goes all the way to August? What do you mean by if it goes all the way to August? I don't know what you mean. Yeah. Oh, very good, Jan. Very good, very good. Good morning to you, Betty. I'm melting over here in Nokomis. Speaking of Nokomis, Betty, do you get Fort Myers TV or do you get Tampa TV? Because my company just bought Waterman Broadcasting. So we've got NBC2 in Fort Myers and ABC7 in Fort Myers. So they're joining our team, and eventually we'll get them on our graphics and we'll get them all linked up. I did an interview with them yesterday for the NBC2 Hurricane special. So yeah, all is good. All is very good. Chris, show Colorado State and your forecast. So I haven't updated my graphic in reference to them. They updated their forecast. Actually, did Tony do it? All right, so here's the July update. So Colorado State upped their numbers, NOAA and WESH. Now, I would illustrate that the WESH 2 numbers have not moved since March 1st. The Colorado State numbers have gone way up. NOAA has a big open gap. But yeah, so the WESH 2 numbers, we put those out March 1st. Colorado State has had to move the mark a few times, and NOAA has, the biggest gap this side of the Mississippi. So that's okay. But at any rate, I think that, somebody had asked me on Twitter, I didn't remember who, but somebody had asked what my thoughts were. I think that they're reading the tea leaves and they're making tweaks. Different methodology plays out differently, right? But I think that everybody at the beginning of the season thought El Nino was going to just shut it all down. And for right now, we're in a bit of a quiet stretch, which we knew. But into mid-late July, we get back into an active pattern, and that should pick things back up. We're running well above now, and I think that we'll, when we get back into that active pattern, we'll have more stuff to track. And then when we get into the quiet pattern, as we are now, we'll go back quiet. But yeah, there's definitely stuff. There's definitely stuff out there, definitely stuff to track. And so there's no surprise to me that Colorado State raised their numbers. When I saw Phil Klotzbach before his June update, he knew he was going to raise the numbers then. And he did. So no surprise here. Phil and his team do great work out there. And methodologies are different. So, nothing wrong with that. Claire, what's a fish storm? It's the best kind. It's the kind that only impacts the fish. Yeah, it stays out to sea. Yeah. So there you go. Yukon, Colorado State University revises the forecast. I think that's crazy. Anyone can forecast and revise 4 times a year. I don't think it's crazy. Everybody has different methodology. One thing that we really push to do with our WESH 2 forecast is set it and forget it. Ronco style. We want to set it March 1st and leave it alone. And our methodology kind of allows that. We may make a tweak, but our goal is to really let it go. Allison says, yay, Cape Coral, Fort Myers here. Yeah, so we own NBC2 and we do news for ABC7 as well. So, yeah, I will be on something about my long-range forecasting. NBC2 did an interview with me yesterday about the long-range forecasting that we do. So you'll have to tune in for that. But I'm very excited. I've known John over at ABC7 for years and excited to get to know the rest of the folks over at NBC2. I actually had a couple of the NBC2 folks up at WESH a couple of weeks ago to just kind of chat about joining our company. So very excited about it. Yeah. Yeah. Noah picks numbers so broad they don't have to guesstimate anything. I mean, we try to be a smaller margin than them, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Yeah. Just think if Vegas would let you adjust your bets. I know. Well, we don't. That's why we don't. That's why that's the forecast that we put out last year. Yeah. Is there a way of comparing the temps this year to those in the past? Native Floridian forgetting if we've had such long durations of high temps. We have, and we can. These are not like straight records, but this is definitely a hot stretch. We have hot stretches during the summer, yeah. You want to know if Futurecast goes all the way to August? It does not. It's like a 3-day high resolution, 5-day low resolution kind of thing. Yeah. Janet, looks like Colorado State just used your highest numbers. Yeah, I mean, Phil's doing his thing, and they do. Look, they're the pioneers of long-range forecasting, so I can't criticize them for anything that they do. I really can't. But they do great work, and it's just their methodology is different. Noah's methodology is different. Like Noah's methodology, if you knew how much deeper that rabbit hole goes than just those numbers, like they'll sit there and be like, there's a 30% likelihood that the season is going to be above average. There's a 30% likelihood that the season is going to be at or above average. There's a 30%, and it's just like, what? It's just so overly, it's just chaotic is what it is. So anyway, there's that. Yeah. William, lightning struck my pump last night and burned up power to it. I have to change it this morning. I'm sorry. Ugh. All right, so there's our 7-day forecast. Storm chances high this weekend, but then kind of starting to go down just a little bit into next week. If you're curious about the long-range hurricane forecast, it's very easy to get it. It's very easy. We go over it sometimes here on Coffee Talk, but I'm running out of time. But I'll tell you this. If you're interested in following along, it's very easy to do so. wesh.com/hurricane forecast. That graphic package, those numbers, that's all unchanged from March the 1st. wesh.com/hurricane forecast. That's where you can get our long range forecast. We put out March the 1st for hurricane season. Everything is cycling perfectly. Haven't seen much of that impactors develop tropically, which is fine with me. But that typically, though, means that like the last recycle of them. So, for example, the Carolina one is going through. We're in the Carolina part of the pattern this week. What is today? The 7th of July. So 7th through we're watching, and there's a storm system around the Carolinas. So to me, I would be like August 21st through the 29th. I'm really going to be watching that one. And then the next part of the pattern would favor the Gulf Coast of Florida. Whether or not it's tropical, we'll have to wait and see. That's going to be July 11th through the 16th. If there's nothing tropical there to develop, I'll have to watch August 30th through September 5th. And then the East Coast of Florida, again, later in the pattern, July 19th through the 25th. If it doesn't develop in July, we're really going to have to watch that September timeframe, and we will. And that's the bottom line. So plenty to watch, plenty to track. We'll be doing it all together. Sound good? Sound good? Yeah? All right. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will chat with you all later. Finish my coffee here. Be good. All right. Thank you all so much for hanging out.